Surely goodness and mercy gon' follow me when I stand. So I stand lively, keep flame like wasabi. You can find me in the presence right beside her. Walking on water, nature drip. You ain't never seen nothing like this here. Everybody with me gon' make it, yeah. Bow your head, let's say a prayer. Though we need your direction, give us eyes to see and ears to listen. You know this world we live in crazy, so protect us. Continue to bless us so we can be a blessing. Amen. Amen. Gotta focus on the future, ain't no way I'm staying. In the present and the past, gotta move fast just to get this cash. Blessings in my bag. Working dedication to my prayers manifest. Yeah, gotta stay with it, cause I know that my time gon' come. Your opinions do not change the fact that I'm gon' go. Even if I gotta go and I'm the only one. Walk with the spirit so I know I ain't the only one. Let's get it. Make sure everybody in the gang see the vision. We will not settle up for no change when he build. You don't need no handouts when you handling business. I gotta go hard, I can't afford to take no days off. Trust in the Lord, I know that he gon' make a way out of no way. For me, I ain't going outside. Surely goodness and mercy gon' follow me when I step. So I step lively, keep flame like wasabi. You can find me in the presence right beside us.
Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Monday, the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. I love Mondays outside of Fridays, which are my date nights, Sundays, which are church days. Mondays are my favorite days of the week. For those of you that are coming on, shout out to all of my tribe members, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch Live, Periscope Live, Twitter Live, LinkedIn. If you on Mars, shout out to you. If you up there in Mars with Elon Musk, shout out to you. I want you to hit that like button, please. Hit the share button. Tag Lolly Dolly, everybody. And tell them Prophet Ramone and the Ramonepreston show is live in his house, right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. I'm excited about what we're going to be sharing with you, discussing, answering questions on, getting feedback on, and giving you some game on. The 3 reasons why small businesses fail. 3 reasons why small businesses fail. For those of you that are business owners, for those of you that have any type of entity, whether it is a for-profit, a non-profit, whether it is just a product or a service that you out there pushing. It might just be a side hustle that you have, like doing lawn care or doing hair or doing nails or selling certain apparel, whatever the products and services are that you have, whatever the side hustle is that you have, whatever the entity is that you have, you, my friend, you, my fellow tribe member, are operating in what we call business. And so there are a lot of businesses that have failed. There are a lot of businesses that are failing, and there are a lot of businesses that will continue to fail. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why most businesses, especially the small businesses in the United States of America, continue to fail. Shout out to all of my entrepreneurs, those of you that are go-getters, grinders, hustlers, all my hood figures, wherever you at. I want you to hit that like button, please. Hit that share button and tag somebody and let them know Prophet Ramone and the Ramonepreston show is live in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. As you can see behind me, we got a little rain going on. It's a little cold out there. But me and the squad, we are here. It's Monday. And for those of you that do have questions, for those of you that do have comments, or you just want to give us some feedback, please make sure you help us in the algorithmic. That's what it is, algorithmic. The algorithmic technology of these platforms that we're on, they require you to like. They require you to hit them hearts or whatever type of little gadgets you got, so everybody can know that you supporting your boy and you're a part of the tribe and you're a part of the gang. So I'm just so excited. We had an amazing weekend. I mean, good gracious, this has been an amazing year so far. We 50-something odd days into 2021, and I can't even begin to tell you how amazing God has been. So shout out to all of my YouTube family. Shout out to all of my Facebook family, all my YouTubers, all my Facebookers, all of my Twitchers, my Periscopers, my Twitterers, and LinkedIn and whatever other platform that you're on. Shout out to you. So today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why small businesses fail. Now remember, when I say small businesses, this is not just those of you that have a 501c3 or a EIN number or a legal entity like a LLC, a S Corp, a C Corp, or a partnership. This really goes for everybody who out there pushing products. If you out there hustling on the side, if you are a network marketer, if you are doing some type of affiliate work where you're getting a commission, if you just hustling, making a few dollars here and there, selling plates on the weekend or cutting grass or detailing cars or washing windows, whatever it is that you're doing, you're still categorized and classified, at least by the Small Business Administration, as a small business. Okay, so all of you that are doing any of those things, you are categorized and classified a small business. And so I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why small businesses fail. Now, if you listen to me, and if you implement the things that I'm telling you, especially if you prophetic, if you anointed, if you called by God, and you know God is shifting you into the marketplace. He's giving you some unction in your spirit to start moving into the business arena or into entrepreneurship. Then you gotta take what somebody like me is saying to heart, and you gotta be willing and obedient to the voice of God that you hear behind what somebody like me is saying, because I'm not just some business owner or just some entrepreneur shooting you some game or just giving you some small talk. I'm a prophet that has an assignment in ministry, but I also have an assignment in the marketplace, which means God is in business. God is in entrepreneurship. God is in you, laying a solid foundation to create a legacy for you and for your family. Now, everything that I talk about on the Ramonepreston Show, Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon, live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter. Everything that I talk about comes out of my own personal playbook, and that is the blueprint game plan that we have on our online university training platform. For many of you that know this, our blueprint game plan is a 5-step wealth building system that I personally put together as a personal playbook so that I could navigate through the process of building financial freedom, building a sustainable business, building generational wealth and a legacy for me and for my family. And what I did after all these years of grinding, all these years of hustling, all these years of doing ministry and business at the same time, I brought all that together to simplify the process to make it easier for you. So shout out to all of you who are already a part of our Blueprint Game Plan program. If you are not a part of our Blueprint Game Plan program, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to plug into it at the end of the show. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about our coaching program that we are preparing to introduce. It's gonna be an exclusive coaching program. We already have a coaching program on our platform right now available, but it's a 90-day coaching program. I am preparing, me and my squad, my team, we're preparing to introduce a 1-year coaching program that I know without a shadow of a doubt is going to take so many people into 6 figures and beyond. And so we're going to give you an opportunity to get in where you fit in on that as well. 3 reasons why small businesses fail. Now, you can Google this. Remember, I tell you, when you hear me saying stuff, you should check everything I'm saying. You should check everything anybody else saying, just in case they capping. You know, people be capping. People know how to cap. So in other words, people lie, especially when they're trying to sell themselves. And see, I'm a realist, so I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. If I'm not living something, I did that when I was preaching behind the pulpit for 20 years. I'm not going to say something and imply something for someone else to do that I know I'm not willing to live or I'm not even living. So everything I'm talking about, I'm living. 3 reasons why small businesses fail. So according to the SBA, that's the Small Business Administration, you can Google this, there are roughly 31 million small businesses in the United States of America. All right? I'm giving you some facts right here. There are roughly 31 million businesses in the United States of America. Now, again, when you say small businesses, we're talking about businesses that make a certain amount of money, that have a certain amount of employees, typically 500 or less, and in most cases it may be $5-10 million or less. So all of us who are making less than $5-10 million a year, all of us who have less than 500 employees are considered a small business. Even if you are a solopreneur, you are still considered a small business. And guess what? You are one of the 31 million small businesses in the United States of America. So if you got an LLC, if you got an EIN number, if you got a product or service that you are introducing to the marketplace to sell, if you out there hustling on the side, guess what you are considered? You're considered one of the 31 million small businesses in the United States of America. And guess what? Small businesses in the United States make up 99.9% of all businesses in America, which means there's only a small portion of businesses that are considered to be bigger businesses that have thousands. We're talking about like the Amazons and the Walmarts and, you know, the Microsofts and those type of whale companies that exist. Every other business is considered a small business. Now, here's what I want you to catch, because I want to walk y'all through this before I give you these 3 reasons. 9 out of 10 small businesses, so we got 31 million small businesses, right? I want y'all to stay with me on this. 9 out of 10 of these 31 million small businesses that make up what you and I do every day, 9 out of 10 of us make less than $100,000 a year. So most of these 31 million small businesses make less than $100,000 a year. Did you hear what I said? I mean, are you catching the revelation? Because I want this to really push you, especially those of you that are doing business, but you stuck and you trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. Whether you got a blueprint game plan, whether you have taken other courses, whether you done went to school and got you a certificate and you still trying to figure out, why am I not moving forward? Why am I not succeeding? I'm building a foundation or a basis for this argument that I want to raise. So we got 31 million small businesses in the United States, right? 9 out of 10 of these 31 million businesses make less than $100,000 a year. So that means almost every small business in the United States of America makes less than $8,500 a month. Now, let me give you some more statistics. 4 out of 10 small businesses, 4 out of every 10 hustlers that you know, 4 out of every small businesses that you see, whether they're in plazas, whether they're online, whether they're in malls, whether they are coming through your neighborhood, whether they at the corner store, whatever these businesses are, 4 out of 10 businesses are profitable. Only 4. Only 40% of small businesses in the United States of America are even making money. 4 out of 10 businesses, 40% of small businesses. So that means 60% of businesses, watch this, are either breaking even or losing money. So out of 31 million small businesses in the United States of America, only 40% of them are actually making money that they can actually survive and live on. 60% of these 31 million businesses are either breaking even, which means whatever money you putting in, you might be getting that back out, and the rest of the small businesses ain't even making no money. And I'm gonna tell you 3 reasons why most of these businesses that we're talking about like 6 or 7 out of 10 businesses that you know about right now. 6 or 7 out of the 10 businesses that you see in plazas. 6 or 7 businesses that you see in your community. 6 or 7, and we're probably safe to say with COVID, 7 out of the 10 businesses you know and you see, including our own businesses that we run in our communities, 7 out of 10 of these businesses are either breaking even or losing money every calendar year. Now, I'm not gonna ask, who losing money or who breaking even, but the numbers don't lie. The statistics don't lie. The studies and the surveys don't lie. So we can be around here capping like we making money. This is why that's why I be saying stuff. I know I say it jokingly that people be capping, but a lot of people be capping, but they're not doing the math because they're not studying. And people like me, I'm doing math and I'm studying and I'm looking at the facts and the data. So when you hear and see certain things, you know somebody got to be lying because everybody's not making money. And most of the people that got businesses that selling products and services, not only are they not making money, they're breaking even or they're losing money. And y'all know what I'm talking about. You know the business owner who has a business that they put out there in the market so everybody can know they got a business, but they're using their job to finance it. They're using the money they're making working for somebody else to finance a business as if they're actually making money. Instead of just taking a step back and saying, you know what, if I can't afford for my business to run on its own, to take care of me and to take care of my household and to take care of itself, maybe it's something that I need to know that I don't know. That's like taking a real look in the mirror, not just for yourself, but taking a real look in the mirror and say, you know what? It's nothing wrong with me saying I'm failing as a business owner because I'm either breaking even or I'm not making money. And if I'm not making a profit that is good enough for me to be paid and compensated and for my business to continue to grow and finance other future endeavors, I got to figure out what's wrong so I can start doing what's right. Am I making any sense, y'all? For those of you that have any questions about business, about anything that relates to business, whether it's something relative to what we teach about in our Blueprint Game Plan, feel free to drop the question in the comments, whether it's about financial literacy, certain financial aspects of your business. It could be about entrepreneurship as a whole, running a business as a whole, investing, or wealth building. These are all the things that we teach in our Blueprint Game Plan. These are the things that I teach as a coach and as a consultant. These are all the things that we teach as real estate entrepreneurs and investors and consultants. So whatever the questions are, feel free to drop them in the comments. Even if you got a comment or you got some feedback, even if you disagree with something I'm saying, all you got to do is drop it in the comment, and we will at least acknowledge it to see if what you're saying, whether it's wrong or right, or agreement or disagreement, whether it's valid or not. All right, here are the 3 things. Here are the 3 things, or 3 reasons, rather, why small businesses fail. Are you ready? Number 1, small businesses fail because they don't listen to their market. This is the number 1 reason right here. Number 1, small businesses fail because they do not listen to their market. Somebody need to write that down. So if your business is not profitable, if your business is either breaking even or losing, and when I say profitable, I don't mean you taking money from something else and putting it in your business. I'm not talking about you taking money from your job and putting it in your business. I'm not talking about you getting loans or using credit cards and using that loan money or that credit card money to run your business. I'm talking about your business actually making a positive profit. And in most cases, it should be profitable enough to compensate you to some extent. if it's not able to compensate you, it should at least be able to compensate itself, which means your business has money to re-up on inventory. Your business has money to pay contractors or vendors or manufacturers or distributors. Your business can take care of its day-to-day operations. The first reason why most small businesses fail is because small businesses don't listen to their market. You got that? Small businesses don't listen to their market. And because I'm in ministry and because I've worked ministry and business like a train on two tracks for as long as I have, I can also say this can apply to small churches as well, or small ministries as well, because most churches and most ministries are small. 90% of churches have less than 50 members. 90% of churches have less than 50 members. 90% of churches are limited in their financial resources. 90% of ministries, we're talking about nonprofit programs, whether they are community-based programs, whether they are industry-specific nonprofit programs. Most churches and nonprofits don't have enough financial resources. They don't have enough sponsors. They don't have enough donors. And the churches particularly don't even have 50 to 65 members, which means, guess what? Most churches and nonprofits fail almost at the same rate as for-profit businesses fail. So if you have a nonprofit organization or a church or some type of community-based nonprofit entity, 9 out of 10 of those entities like yours don't even make money. And they're actually losing money, which means they're only existing because the owner or the CEO or the president or the pastor or certain leaders are financing it to exist, or they're taking money from their jobs and they're financing it. But we got to get to a place of success where these nonprofit and for-profit entities that we have can actually be self-sustainable. So whether you're in ministry or business, ministry and business, this same reason applies to both. Reason number one, why small businesses, for some of you, / ministries and nonprofits fail is because what? They don't listen to their market. Now, let me help you understand what I mean by that when I say they don't listen to their market. Number one, and I'm kind of breaking down the first reason under why small businesses and ministries fail. Not listening to your market is another way of saying, number one, you're not getting market attention. So when you're not listening to your market, number one, or 1A, means you're not getting market attention. That means nobody don't even know you exist. Nobody don't even know the products and the services you have. Nobody don't even know what you're doing. Have you ever met somebody or talked to somebody that you knew, and when they tell you what they do, you're like, oh, I ain't know you did that. Right. They didn't get market attention. I mean, we've gone through the same thing. We've had many people say, oh, we didn't know you were in real estate, until we started realizing everywhere we go, we need to let people know what we do. So now when we meet people, one of the first questions people, oh my God, one of the first questions people ask is, what do you do? And guess what one of the first answers is? One of the first answers is, we do real estate, we do consulting, and the second answer is, or we switch it around, we do ministry. All right, so you gotta get market attention. So under the first reason why most small businesses fail, which is they don't listen to their market, I want you to put, I have to get market attention. All right? I want y'all to catch that. You have to get market attention. Yeah, I messed that one up, didn't I? Yeah. You got to get market attention. I'm over here running my mouth and just boop. You got to get market attention. Okay? How do you get market attention? Let me give you a few examples just in case you don't know how to get market attention. I'm not talking about going to get no cards, Because people ain't really even passing out cards. And most of the time when you pass out cards, nobody's paying attention to it. You're in a digitized world. Getting market attention means you need to use your personal social media pages to market your business. The word market means I have to go into certain spaces and I've got to occupy those spaces. Remember that scripture I gave y'all last week in Luke 19, verse 13, when the nobleman who was a type and shadow of Jesus, when he gave his servants those talents and he told them, do business until I come, occupy until I come, buy and sell. In other words, go into the market and make exchanges with what I've given to you. So if you are, and this is really difficult for a lot of people in ministry, because when you're called to ministry and you're anointed and you know you're supposed to be preaching the gospel or pastoring a church or whatever it is that God has called you to do, a lot of times it's very difficult for people in ministry to market. That's a more professional word, but a lot of times in order for you to market your business, you got to get attention. You got to put yourself in the spotlight. You got to some extent, brag about your products and services. I mean, some people feel uncomfortable about bragging about how good their business is, but you got to do what you got to do, not for the purpose of you getting attention as an individual, because you might not need attention. You might not even want it, but for the purpose of your business or your products and services being able to gain attention in the market. All right? So the first reason why small businesses fail is because small businesses or ministries don't listen to their market. You have to get market attention. Every one of you that's listening to me, I know I talked about this on another show, but every one of you listening to me, here's some things that you have to do. You have to use your personal social media pages to market your business. You should have a YouTube page. You should have a LinkedIn page. You should have an Instagram page. And I would even go as far as to say, if you don't have a lot of people on your personal page, if there are not a lot of people on your personal page, then you should have a business page actually educating people on why products like your products are important, why what you do is essential, and how what you provide can change the landscape or the course of your customers' lives. You got to get attention. And again, especially if you're in ministry, especially if you're prophetic like me and you're anointed, you got to get past this false humility. You know, sometimes Christians, they really irk me with all this. Well, I'm gonna just let the Lord lead me. I'm gonna just let God have his way. No, boo, no, bruh. God done already led you. God done already had his way by giving you the idea, by giving you the revelation, by giving you the business, by giving you the opportunity to do ministry. It's your job to get out there and let people know how amazing of a business you have, how amazing of a nonprofit you have. I've done both at the same time, ministry and business, right? And so when God told me in 2007 to plant my first church, literally, we ain't have the internet like we do now. But you know what I did? I let everybody I came into contact with know my church was the next best thing since sliced bread, because I knew I was anointed. I knew I was going to over-deliver. I knew I was willing to pray for people, walk them through their pain. I knew I was willing to teach them. I knew I was willing to work through their trials and tribulations. I knew I was willing to do whatever I needed to do. And it wasn't about money. It was about me letting people know that I was available. And guess what? Me and my wife, we were living in a apartment complex on the south side of Atlanta. And guess what? One of the first things I did was I went to the property manager and told the property manager, hey, my wife and I, we just planted a church. We're starting it here in the community, and we just want to come here to let you know we are available. So you got 300 and something units in this community. We were talking to the property manager. We told him we did real estate. for business, but we told them we were starting this church and we were available. We'll pray. If you have people who late on their rent, this is how we came at it. If you got people who late on their rent, if you got people who on the verge of getting evicted, send them our way so we can pray with them and try to help them find some extra help and resources. Guess what the property manager did? The property manager said, oh, guess what? We used to have a church that used to come here and have services every once in a while in our leasing center. She said, but they just ended it like a month ago. So anytime you need it, thank you, Holy Ghost. Woo, you can use it. But if I wouldn't have opened up my big mouth and went and knocked on her office door to market my ministry, we wouldn't have a next level network today. We wouldn't have next level ministries today. We wouldn't have Ramonepreston ministries today. We wouldn't have a prison ministry today. We wouldn't have a nursing home ministry today. We wouldn't have my wife pastoring next level church today. All that came from me knocking on doors, knocking on doors, knocking on doors, letting people know we are in this city and we have an assignment to do a certain work. Now that was ministry. In business, you got to do the same thing. And doing it is not passing out flyers and putting it in people, what do you call the windshield? That ain't really doing business. That's ghetto. And it's wrong. It's ghetto and it's wrong. You should be bold enough about your products and services to walk up to people, to come on social media like Ramone is doing and say, you know what? I know what I got is good. I know the t-shirts I sell are good. What's so good about your t-shirts as opposed to everybody else's t-shirts? What's so good about your services, your products, as opposed to everybody else? We don't know, because we don't know you, because we don't know where you at. I can't hear nobody. Right. You got a question?
Yeah, so on YouTube, Arash said, what's your suggestion for someone like me that don't like social platforms? Can we have just a website?
No, you gotta have social platforms. Here's what my suggestion is. If you're not comfortable, it's not the social platforms that you don't like or you don't need. It's just you're not comfortable like me being in front of the lights or the camera. You might not want to be the face or the brand ambassador or the one having to distribute or communicate the content about your business. See, most websites that people build, shout out to Trustworthy, but most websites that people build, they don't understand your websites are dead. The reason why most websites are dead, and I have an expert on my team that can verify this. Shout out to my Trustworthy team. I have an expert who can verify this. The reason why most websites are dead, as nice as they are, because they don't have traffic going to them from social sites. So we do this nice website, we put all of our information on the website, but guess what? You still are not in the market. Your website is not the market. See, you got to look at social platforms as like a storefront. If you riding down the road and if you saw a storefront, let's say if you saw like a retail plaza, and if all you saw was like dark windows and no signs, are you going to stop in that plaza?
No.
You ain't going to stop in that plaza. You know why? Because you don't know what's in it. Right. It looks dead. Right. That's how most websites are. People never go to nobody's website because it's like a plaza with no signs, no lights, and dark windows. But what happens is when you put a sign up there, now social media becomes your sign to your storefront to get people to come into your store to see exactly what you are doing. So I would suggest or recommend, if you're just not comfortable being the brand ambassador, you have to focus on creating a marketing system. You got to create a marketing system. I teach this in my blueprint game plan. I teach about the CMO, a chief marketing officer. That's one of the 5 corporate positions of a business. But I also teach about marketing systems. So here's how you create a marketing system. You got to decide if you don't want to be the brand ambassador. Think about it. Warren Buffett, he owns Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway owns Geico Insurance. But Warren Buffett is not the brand ambassador or the face of Geico. Guess who's the face of Geico Insurance? A little cartoon lizard. But they had to market that company by creating a face or some type of brand ambassador to put into the market to get attention. So you got to decide, if it's not you, if you don't have like this alter ego or this other character that you can use, then you've got to decide who can you put or what can you put out there to talk about your business, to talk about your ministry, to talk about your product and your service, so that people can know what you do. All right? So the first reason why small businesses fail is because they don't listen to their market. Now, for those of you that are out there, that means you got your products and services out there in the market, and they're not selling. If you got products and services that ain't making money, guess what's happening? Either nobody knows you, or if you're getting known and nobody's still buying it, then you got to revisit your product and your service, because you got to listen to the market. The market may be telling you what you have is not good enough for them, or you may be introducing it to the wrong market. It's just like if you sell baby food. If you sell baby food, why is you talking to grown people about baby food unless they're mothers or parents that got babies? You get what I'm saying? But it's like having baby food for sale and you're talking to single bachelors and bachelorettes. They ain't thinking about baby food, right? They might be thinking about condoms or something because they bachelors or bachelorettes. But I'm just saying, you're going to talk to parents who got little babies. They ain't even doing that. They ain't thinking about no condom. You wrong for that. You feel me on that? So your market is telling you what they're willing to pay for what you have, and they may be telling you that what you have is not good enough, or what you have is too much, or it's just not for them. But that's why you got to get out in the market and you got to play a little bit. See, that's why I come up with ideas all the time, and I'll try stuff, I'll put it out there, that's why I always encourage small business owners to create a research and development division, so that you could give yourself some wiggle room to play with ideas, with products and services, and you don't feel defeated and disappointed and discouraged when people are not responding to it, all right? So let's get to the second reason why small businesses fail. Small businesses don't lean into the future. This is the second reason why small businesses fail. Small businesses don't lean into the future. Number one reason is they don't listen. They don't listen to their market. You can't tell the market what they want. You gotta let them tell you what they want. And if either you're gonna get it or fix it or present it, or you're gonna keep it moving. But number two is small businesses fail because small businesses don't lean into the future. They don't lean into the future. A lot of small businesses are stuck. You talk to a lot of small business owners, all they focusing on is where they came from and where they at. We talk about that all the time, don't we? I always tell you, the people that you are doing business with are not the problem. It's the people you're not doing business with is the problem. And guess what? If you are contracting, that means if you're contracting, that means because people are not responding to your products and services, ain't nobody returning no phone calls, you ain't getting no text messages back, ain't nobody emailing you, your market is probably too small. Your pipeline is too small. I teach about top line funnels in one of our courses, but my point is you cannot contract. This is the second reason why small businesses fail. They don't lean into the future. Guess how many businesses failed in 2020 when the quarantine hit? Because they refused to lean into the future when they were up. They refused to lean into the future thinking the future was a future event or an event beyond their now, when they should have leaned in at that time. Think about it. It was 2018. The coronavirus hit the peak in March, almost a year ago, right? So 2.5 years before we were quarantined because of Corona, which was March of 2020. That means in September of 2018, I started the process of digitizing everything that I did in terms of education and training and coaching and consulting. I started building a virtual platform. I started investing in new systems that automated a lot of the things that I was having to manually do. I started leaning into the future on a whole nother level and investing into what I wanted my ministry and my business and my organizational enterprise to look in a 2023, 2024 world. I started doing that in 2018. At the time, I was on the back end of resigning as a pastor, but my church knew it. All of my congregation knew it. People who were doing business with me, they all knew. My students in my school of ministry, everybody knew that I was leaning into the future, and I had to push pause on some things that I was doing to reset my organizational infrastructure so that I can create new systems for a 2023, 2024 type of world. Not knowing in 2020, bang, we all get hit. Guess what? Because 95% of what we were doing was virtual, it was digital, and it was connected to automated systems. We didn't skip a beat when the Corona hit, right? I mean, when the quarantine hit, we were still showing up. And all we were doing was just managing systems and creating new opportunities for people. You know why? Because we did what I'm telling you is the second reason why small businesses fail. We did the total opposite. Small businesses fail because they don't lean into the future. Anytime, if you have a product and a service right now, or a ministry right now, whatever the type of business is that you have, even if you're making money, you should earmark. That means you should set aside a certain amount of money to invest into future systems, artificial intelligence, automation. You should be investing in how can I take my product and service and make it a concept? How can I move myself out of a brick and mortar world, out of a stick and stone world? You gotta do this. If you don't do this, you're failing to lean into the future. Am I making sense to anybody? Somebody give me some feedback or something. Because I know what I'm saying is true, because I'm doing it. If I would not have done that in 2018, we wouldn't even be where we at today. Because remember, I shifted our church. I put our church on a 3-year legacy plan from 2018 to 2021, 2019, 2020, 2021. I told the church in 2018, we'll be back in 2022. We left a physical building, remember? We left that 5,000 square foot building. I was like, we finna get out of this building in beginning of 2018, and we're gonna go and we're gonna pitch a tent. So we left the tabernacle ministry and we went into a tent ministry. We're just gonna lease space twice a week for Thursdays and for Sundays. That's all we're gonna do, for real. Because I knew I was leaning into the future. Yeah. And I said, we're gonna stay there until we're in a position where we can make the decisions we wanna make without having the burden of physical brick and mortar overhead. That was 2018, y'all. That was the best decision we made for that church, because think of if we had that building and Corona hit. Think if we had that building. It was already a burden having it. Trying to manage a 5,000 square foot building. Some months, that light bill used to be $1,200, $1,300. But just think if Corona would have hit and they would have said, y'all can't even go in that building. Wow. So almost a year now, that building would have been empty and would have still been having to pay. Put out. Because we missed what God was doing. We didn't lean into the future. But I leaned into the future and I knew, we finna get rid of this building. and we finna put everything on a digital platform. We finna automate. We finna get more systems. And we did it. And a lot of you right now, wherever you are, even if you got a product and a service that you're providing, especially if you're the only person that can do it, you should be spending as much money as you need to figure out how can I remove me out of this business and replace it with a system. Replace it with a concept. You gotta do that. And if you don't know how to do it, it's because you're not investing. You're not investing in your education to learn it. You're not investing to be around people who are talking that kind of language. All you doing is just sitting back, man, I just can't wait till something happens. Girl, you know, I'm just praying about this thing. God done gave me this. You ain't going nowhere fast. Number two, you got to lean into the future. This is the second reason why small businesses fail. They don't lean into the future. All right, number three, the third reason why small businesses fail is because small businesses don't leverage. They don't leverage. They don't leverage. And I'm spitting some game to y'all today. And it looked like the sun is coming out. Wow, it is absolutely beautiful out there, y'all. Do y'all see how beautiful it is out there? I mean, it is gorgeous. Yes, I did. In the midst of a pandemic. Full time. Hired you full time. With bonuses. She like, I don't know about all. I know I ain't capping. Because your salary triple. You almost at triple right now. You booming. Everybody got paid and put in a better financial position because we leaned into the future. So in 2018, I was preparing for what happened in 2020. 2 years before it happened, I was preparing for it personally. And I didn't know it, so it's not like I'm saying, oh, I predicted it or prophesied it. I didn't know what was going to happen. But what I did know was I needed to, number one, listen to my market. Number two, lean into the future. And here's the third reason why small businesses or ministries fail. They don't leverage. What do you mean leverage? Here's what leverage is. I'm going to give you a simple version of leverage. Leverage is taking a little bit of this, connecting it to a whole lot of that, and having all the wiggle room in between. That was for free. You just missed it. I said leverage is taking a little bit of this, connecting it to a whole lot of that, and using all of what's in the middle as wiggle room. That's what leverage is. So leverage is I have this one thing, and I'm going to use this one thing to connect it to this other thing way over here, and I have all this space, this wiggle room in between to do whatever I need to do because I was willing to take this and take a little bit of this and connect it to a whole lot of that. So the third reason why most small businesses and ministries fail is because they don't leverage. They don't leverage their time. They don't leverage their talents. They don't leverage their treasures. They don't leverage the opportunities that they have every day. They don't leverage the people that they have around them. And they don't leverage the money that they have. Period. Like you're in business, you got to make money. That means you got to make exchanges. That means you got to take your time, you got to take your skill set, your abilities, you got to take your money, and you got to invest it. You got to put it on the line. And I'm saying this from a business perspective, not from a ministry perspective, because I don't want you to get it twisted or misunderstand what my point is here. But sometimes you have to buy your way into certain ecosystems. Now again, I'm not saying that to discredit being obedient to God. I'm not saying that to make you feel like in ministry you can just buy your way into certain circles. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean by that is, for example, you might have to pay a consulting firm to help you scale your business. You might have to pay a marketing company to help you market your business. You actually might have to pay a company to repackage your products because they look a hot mess. You might have a great product, it's just packaged wrong. It's ghetto because you're trying to be cheap. Or you trying to do your own website and it looks a mess. Or you trying to publish your own books or, copyright your own music or whatever it is, and it's not good. And you're trying to figure out why it ain't going nowhere, because you're not leveraging real time and real talent and real treasures. You cannot be cheap when you're trying to run a business. You can't be cheap when you're trying to run a ministry. That's one of the things me and my wife, we promised God and we promised ourselves and we always promised our church. Even right now, for 3 years, our church has been out of our own building because we walked away from it. But guess what? We're in a rented space where we're just using it one day a week now because of the quarantine. But guess what? It's a nice building. We went from 5,000 square feet. It might be 20-something. I think it's like 20-something thousand square feet. Huh?
So much space.
It's beautiful. It's clean. And all we got to do is just show up. We ain't got to clean. We ain't got to have a maintenance crew. We don't have none of that overhead, even though it costs to be the boss now. You're going to pay to play, but at the same time, you're investing in the quality and the excellence of your organization. Even with our business, like we can be in business on the backside of town. We don't have to be right here in the center of Buckhead. We don't have to be across the street from Lenox Square Mall and down the street from Phipps Plaza. We don't have to be where all the money is, where everything is high, where the square footage might be $200 a square foot. But guess what? You're going to invest in what you want the market to see doing on the level you're doing it on. So those are the 3 reasons why small businesses fail. Number 1, they fail because they don't listen to their market. Number 2, they fail because they don't lean into their future. And number 3, they fail because they don't leverage. They don't leverage. And sometimes leveraging is with your time. So for example, I have 24 hours in a day. There are only so many things that I can do with my time. So therefore, I have to bring in staff, other human beings on my team, in my squad to help me. And then we have to connect those individuals to systems. I know you've noticed that, daughter. Everything that we do, we got a system for it.
We do.
Everything we do. Sales, CRM, marketing, emails, the accounting, the platforms, the training, everything is a system. So even though we're clicking buttons a lot of times, some of those buttons don't have to be clicked unless we choose to click them manually. A lot of them are automated. So guess what we're doing? We're leveraging our time by not just using ourselves, but we're also using systems. So now because we have these 8 or 9 systems, we can do the job of 8 or 9 people. And we could do it swiftly and smoothly because we're leveraging time. We're leveraging talents by pulling in other individuals. Like I told you, we got a marketing firm on our team. They got their own operation, but guess what? We can leverage talent from a marketing perspective from people who know what they're doing because we have brought them in. We have Lanier. We have other businesses and ministries that we connect with to do certain things. We can get more done because we're leveraging talent. We're leveraging our treasures as well. Some of y'all need to leverage your money. You got money right now. I just don't understand that if you got money, I don't care if you got money, you still should commit. You still should commit. So you don't even know, well, I ain't got no money. You don't even know how much something costs before you make the decision that you don't have it. I ain't got money to be educated. You got another question?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay.
It seems to me that the main problem of small business not having enough money to invest in the business. Then he asks how to start and don't be cheap. How to start a business and don't be cheap.
That's what the question is, how to start it and don't be cheap.
Yeah.
Well, that's a loaded question, how to start a business. I'm gonna try to break it down from practical perspective, the first step to starting a business is getting it filed with your Secretary of State. So you want to file your business with Secretary of State, whether it's a LLC, a S Corp, or C Corp. Most people create LLCs. So for me, I teach in our Blueprint Game Plan, I teach this to our coaching and consulting clients as well. I teach the concept of a holding company. So if you're going to start a business, I'm going to recommend that you start a holding company. No matter how small you are, start a holding company. If you want to know more about the holding company concept, you got to just reach out to us if you don't know anything about it. But my point is, starting a business is you just filing the paperwork, getting your EIN number, opening up a bank account. Now the next thing is for you to get whatever your ideas are and package those ideas as products and services. So if you got an idea for clothes, if you got an idea for some app, you've got an idea for some service or some other product that you want to sell or provide, or if you want to coach people or consult people, or if you want to clean houses, whatever it is, you got to take those ideas and package those ideas as products and services so that you can drop them in your business, and now your business can introduce them to the market. That's how you start a business. And the process of introducing it to the market so you can make sales is going to either be done the right way with money or without money, or the wrong way with or without money. So that means you have to commit that I want my products and services to look a certain way. It's just like our online university training platform. If you've ever been on there, it's a professional platform that we use. You know why? Because I want it to look right. I don't want you to go to a platform that I'm talking about teaching you how to do business, how to get money, and it looked like one of my first cousins who was high put my platform together. So that's just like a practical answer to your question. But again, if you really want to educate yourself on a lot of the nuances, a lot of the fundamentals of starting a business correctly and structuring a business and having a philosophy for your business, like a mission statement, and understanding what type of people you need to bring in to undergird and support your business, and how you need to run the day-to-day operations of it, and how you need to properly package your business and structure it and scale it. If you want to know like the real professional side of that, I'm going to recommend that you reach out to us to pick up our Blueprint Game Plan. I'm putting it on the screen right here behind me. Our Blueprint Game Plan is our 5-step wealth building system. And we use these 5 steps to walk you through the wealth building process, but also to direct you to the many training courses that we have built into this Blueprint Game Plan program. So we teach you about financial literacy. So you're going to need to know about financial literacy even in running a business or just running your own personal finances. We teach you about entrepreneurship. We teach you about starting and scaling your business. I actually have an entire holding company startup kit where I walk you through with tutorial videos on how to go to your Secretary of State, how to file your LLC, how to categorize it as a holding company, and I have videos in that course to show you how to actually run your holding company. How do you create divisions? How do you create subsidiaries? How do you stack them and structure them? We teach about real estate investing in this Blueprint Game Plan. We teach about network marketing, independent contracting, and I'm in the process of introducing a new program for free in our Blueprint Game Plan, which is going to be centered around family legacy wealth building. So if you want to know more about our Blueprint Game Plan, or if you want access to it so you can properly start a business the right way and know that you're doing it the right way so that you can be successful, all you have to do is text Blueprint to 404-478-7213. Text Blueprint to 404-478-7213. Again, if you want to purchase our Blueprint Game Plan and learn the most important aspects of financial literacy, entrepreneurship, business ownership, investments, and family legacy wealth building, we have it all in our Blueprint Game Plan.
So he was problem is that I can't even open a bank account. I live in a country under heavy, sanctions. Is this
Under heavy sanctions.
sanctions, yeah. Is there a option? You saying?
You can open up an online store, depending on how they're monitoring the internet in that
Saying
country.
there is no market for products in my country.
But there are a lot of people from other countries that have businesses in the United States. So if your internet is not being monitored, or if it's not like sanctioned in a way that you can't market online, then you're able to market online. If you're in a country where you don't have access to the internet, obviously you do, you're watching me. So if it's not being monitored, then all you have to do is start an online business, and it's going to be open to the world. And now you just need to market it in countries that you're able to make money in. And how you convert those sales into your dollars is going to be based on the platforms that you use. Like most platforms that you use, whether it's Shopify, whether it's websites, whether it's platforms, whether it's Amazon or whatever, most platforms today allow you to convert that into your country's dollars. So that's a loaded question, so I don't know too much about the international sanction part, but what I do know is I talk to people from other countries all the time who doing business. There are platforms that we use and products and services that we use. Every time you talk to somebody, they ain't from America. They from other countries. They from Canada and India and Pakistan and other countries. So I hope I answered that. For those of you that may already have our blueprint game plan, and or you don't have our blueprint game plan, I am really eager. I mean, you know, I'm like itching right now, daughter. I'm itching because I want to introduce, and I'm going to do it within the next week or so, what is considered our 1-year coaching program. Right now, if you go to Ramonepreston.com, you will see that we have a 90-day coaching program. And so what me and my team has strategized, and we've really taken like the last 4 to 6 weeks, it's been probably about a month and a half we've been working on it. We have put together a 1-year coaching program where we're going to basically stand on the sidelines of your life and of your business, your ministry, your organization, and we're going to walk you through the process of taking your finances, your business, your ministry, whatever it is that you have, to the next level. This 1-year coaching program is basically going to be 4 times as much that you normally get in our 90-day coaching program. So if you know without a shadow of a doubt, which most people do, I've been telling you that for the last several weeks, almost everybody needs a coach, because you need somebody to hold you accountable, number one, but you also need somebody to help navigate you and guide you and direct you to keep moving forward. And I have a very, I won't say proprietary, that might be a little too bougie, but I'll say we have a unique way that we operate our coaching program, okay? So the way we operate our coaching program is very unique. There's a system that we use to walk you through this whole entire time, whether it's 90 days, 6 months, or whatever, but this one is a year because I want to dedicate my time and my team for the next year to really help some people get to 6 figures, because I really think a lot of people can. They just don't have the motivation. They don't have they don't have the support. They don't have the accountability. And when they hit those roadblocks, if you don't know how to navigate through those roadblocks, or if you feel like something needs to be shifted and reset and revised and changed or repackaged, it's the coaches that you have in your life to show you, wait a minute, don't run that play. Because the coach is standing on the sideline seeing something that you might not see because you in the game. So we're going to use this 1-year coaching program to help a lot of people get to 6 figures. If you would like to be a part of this coaching program, listen, you could call it capping or what, but this is going to be an exclusive 1-year coaching program. I'm not going to have like 300 people in it because I'm going to be investing my personal time, My team, we're investing our time. And how we've structured this 1-year program, we've structured in a way where we're basically touching all of our coaching clients every week for 52 weeks straight. And we're putting you on a plan for 52 weeks. And we're pushing you to keep you moving forward within that 52 weeks. So that means we're going to be limited in how much we can do and how many people we can do it for. So if you would like to be a part of our coaching program that we're introducing within the next week or so for a year, then you need to text coaching to 404-478-7213. All right, that's Blueprint. If you want the blueprint, text Blueprint to 404-478-7213. Or if you want the coaching, or if you want both, text both to 404-478-7213. I love y'all. I appreciate all of you for your support. Please continue to like. Please continue to share. Please continue to tag family members and friends. Please continue to let everybody know, lolly-dolly everybody, that Prophet Ramone Preston, his squad, hosts the Ramonepreston show every Monday through Friday at 12 o'clock noon. We are here for all of you. We're praying for you, and we're looking forward to seeing you get to your next level and get the manifestation of your prophesied place.